Welcome back, pastry lovers. Today, we're diving into the delicious world of French pastries, specifically croissants, and a few extra treats that will have your kitchen smelling heavenly. So grab your aprons, and let's get started. Remember, if you enjoy this tutorial, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more delightful baking adventures. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to it. First things first, let's talk about the ingredients for our croissants. You'll need all-purpose flour, unsalted butter, sugar, salt, yeast, and milk. The key to a perfect croissant is the quality of your ingredients, so don't skimp on the butter. Aim for European-style butter if you can. It has a higher fat content and will give your pastries that rich, flaky texture we all crave. Now, let's make the dough. In a large mixing bowl, combine about 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Make sure to keep the salt and sugar on opposite sides of the bowl to avoid any interference with the yeast. In a separate bowl, dissolve 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast in 1 cup of warm milk. Let it sit for about 5 minutes until it's frothy. This is your yeast activating, and it's a crucial step. Don't skip it. Once your yeast is bubbly, pour it into the flour mixture. Mix it together until a shaggy dough forms. It might look a bit messy, but that's okay. Now turn it out onto a floured surface and knead for about 5 to 7 minutes. You want the dough to be smooth and elastic. If it's too sticky, add a little more flour, but be careful not to overdo it. A tip here: if you find your dough sticking to the counter, use a bench scraper to help you lift it without adding too much flour. After kneading, shape the dough into a ball and place it in a lightly greased bowl. Cover it with a damp cloth and let it rise in a warm place for about an hour, or until it doubles in size. While that's happening, let's prepare our butter block. Take about 1½ cups of unsalted butter and cut it into pieces. Place it between 2 sheets of parchment paper and use a rolling pin to flatten it into a rectangle, about ½ inch thick. Chill this in the fridge while your dough is rising. Once the dough has risen, punch it down to release the air. Turn it out onto a floured surface and roll it into a rectangle, about 20 by 10 inches. Now, grab your chilled butter block and place it in the center of the dough. Fold the dough over the butter, enclosing it completely. This is where the magic happens. It's called laminating, and it's what gives croissants their flaky layers. Now, roll the dough out again into a long rectangle, about 24 by 10 inches. This is your first turn. Fold the dough into thirds, like a letter, and wrap it in plastic wrap. Chill it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. This resting time is essential. It allows the gluten to relax and makes it easier to roll out. While you wait, you can clean up your workspace. Trust me, a tidy kitchen makes for a happy baker. After your dough has chilled, repeat the rolling and folding process 2 more times, chilling in between each turn. So, that's a total of 3 turns. You'll notice the dough becoming more elastic and the butter incorporating beautifully. Each turn adds layers, and that's what gives us those delightful, flaky croissants. Once you've completed your turns, roll the dough out one final time into a large rectangle. Now it's time to cut it into triangles. Cut the dough into long triangles, about 5 inches wide at the base. To shape your croissants, take a triangle and gently stretch it out, then roll it from the base to the tip. Make sure to keep it tight, but not too tight, or it won't rise properly. Place your rolled croissants on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, leaving space between them for expansion. Now, cover them with a cloth and let them rise again for about an hour, or until they've puffed up nicely. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit while you wait. Here's a hack. For an extra golden finish, brush the tops with an egg wash made from 1 beaten egg mixed with a tablespoon of water before baking. Once they're ready, pop those beauties in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they're golden brown and irresistible. The aroma will be incredible, and you'll be tempted to dive right in. But wait, let them cool on a wire rack for a few minutes before indulging. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the first bite of a homemade croissant. Flaky, buttery, and oh so delicious. Now, while we're at it, let's whip up a couple of other French pastries. How about some pain au chocolat? The process is similar. Just place a piece of dark chocolate at the base of your croissant triangle before rolling it up. And for those who want something sweet and fruity, you can make almond croissants by filling them with almond paste before rolling. Simply mix almond flour, sugar, and a bit of egg for the filling. And there you have it. Croissants, pain au chocolat, and almond croissants, all made from scratch. Remember, practice makes perfect, and don't be discouraged if your first batch isn't flawless. Baking is a journey, and every attempt brings you closer to mastering the art of French pastries. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more baking tips and tasty recipes. I can't wait to see you again in the kitchen, where we'll create even more delicious treats together. Happy baking!